is the first thing? Vocal fold
closure. So you've got more,
I'm like,
it's a little more pressed, and less breathy. I'm not saying, and also I speak with a very low larynx. That's just, it's less like if I raise my larynx a bit, it ends up sounding like slightly nasally, but also there's nothing wrong with that. But I just, whatever reason, this is how I grew up.
Yeah,
Hearing my dad's.
You have a,
yeah.
Whereas I've got that. The American. I really think of it as an American thing, like just a little more assertive, aggressive.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? So, hello and welcome to the podcast. How do you do love with Mag and Ange? I am Mag and
I'm Angela.
Hello, Angela. I'm Margaret, and I'm not thinking that's very funny. I'm like, redo, take two.
That's redo.
So, otherwise known as Margaret Dahlberg, I am here with my friend Ange, and we're going to talk about various...
Wait, I'm otherwise known. Don't you care who I'm otherwise known as? I'm otherwise known as Angela Kavar.
Let's be honest. Of course.
Which is your freaking sidekick.
Yeah, you're just Ange. That's all you are. Otherwise known as Angela Kavar, the great Angela Kavar.
The first.
The great Kavar. We always entertain ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're back again. I know we haven't been back a lot. Like, we're not doing as many podcasts as we do in the summer, but it's always something we enjoy doing. And I'm really glad we're trying this today. It's a very chilly day, end of November, almost December, almost Christmas craze coming up. And how's it going, Ange?
Yeah, I'm feeling the cold weather, the hibernation vibes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I am someone who gets out in the cold.
Yes, I admire that about you. I do.
But I feel like I have a mental block that's getting bigger and bigger each year as I get older. And I don't know, actually, maybe it's not a mental block. Maybe it's a mental wiseness.
Okay.
Because I'm like, well, first of all, I don't know if I talked about frostbiting my fingertips. My fingertips haven't really recovered. So I have this anxiety about getting out in the cold because my fingers start to burn really fast now. So I've had to do things like make sure, do I have the right mittens? Do I have this? I even took hand warmers out to the park the other day. And that is a fucking buzzkill.
It's a bitch. I frostbit my fingers quite badly at age 14.
Oh.
And now I know if my car breaks down or something, I'm losing those hands. Like I'm serious. Like such a
no, but I know that feeling. Because all I have to do is if I think about my fingertips right now, I can tell that there's this kind of weird burny sensation.
Yeah.
And it's always there. So
yeah.
I am reluctant to go outside. So how have you been, Angie? Like how's life from the podcast perspective? Introspective Ange.
Well, from the podcast perspective in terms of love, LUV, there's lots of love, but it's definitely there's no love interests and
no romantic love.
No romantic love. Yes. And it still feels okay.
That's so good. I sent you this. Do you remember what I sent you last night? This thing. I want to read it to our listeners. It was like...
Yeah, I want to talk about this actually.
I hate to break it to you, but if women don't lower their standards, they're going to die alone in their beautifully decorated homes with their best friends, plants, music, delicious food, clean toilets, great support, fresh flowers, interesting books, belly laughs, colorful moo-moos, pets, art, and no angry men.
Okay, I have a couple things about that.
Okay, can we just I know because you're already ready to get there, but the point being, life's way better without men. Go ahead.
Okay, so that's not what I initially thought. When I heard that initially, until this last reading of it, I thought, they're trying to, whoever wrote that is trying to say, look, you're going to die alone, because they did say you'll be alone. It's kind of a funny thing because it says alone, but then it says with great support. So that person could be taking either perspective. Like, look, your house might look nice and you'll have friends and a moo-moo, which is kind of like that it's sort of
Moo-moo.
insulting.
I know the moo-moos.
Yeah, I'm like
the moo-moos was the one part I was like,
it's like,
yeah,
what
let's
are they
take
trying
that
to
out.
say? Yeah. So it could be from the perspective of everything's going to be great, so why would you do it? Or somebody trying to rationalize a bad relationship.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was like, yeah, I don't know.
I took it as empowering, and that's how I sent it. I was like,
Oh, I know you sent it with that.
with that sense of like, you know, and I mean, the other thing, okay, so I didn't agree with the moo-moos because that does imply that you can not let yourself go, but you don't care how you look. Like you're just wearing whatever you feel like instead of trying to impress a guy.
Right.
Or having to look sexy. Like it's almost like that kind of a thing.
Yeah, like
But
losing your touch with any of your
Yeah.
sexuality, which doesn't necessarily even mean that you have to be with a partner to be in touch with your sexuality.
Yeah, I agree with that too. That's a good point. But then the also thing about angry men, because quite frankly, none of the guys I've dated have been angry. I don't even know a lot of angry men. Do you? I know a lot of angry women. I'm like, most of the guys I know, like they get angry at something, but then they're not angry anymore. Whereas I know more women with sort of that simmering resentment.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I'm not sure where that person's coming from, the person who created that little...
But the reason, so circle back, the reason I brought it up was because you're saying you don't have that love in your life, but you're okay with that. And the reason I suddenly thought of that meme was I was like, well, yeah, because you have all these beautiful things in your life and things that are feeding you and filling your cup. You just don't have a man that is one of those things. So that's why I thought of it.
Yeah.
The end.
I mean, I'm definitely though open to it. It's just I don't feel desperate, which is good.
Yeah.
I actually want to feel really, really solid in myself so that I bring that solidity, which I'm not going to always be solid, right?
But you don't want craving.
Yeah.
You don't want addiction, desire, like that neediness feeling. Like you want a man in your life because you want it to accompany the rich life you have. You don't want it to come from I like how you said desperate and then you stopped yourself, because of course it's not desperate. There's nothing wrong with wanting company.
Yeah. And so so of course I would like to be perfectly fine on my own and then have somebody. Is that possible? I'm sure it is possible, but I don't know if it's that realistic. And so as soon as I had said that, I thought, well, Angela, you know what? Craving is human. Yeah, sometimes I think these expectations of being completely fine and not needing and not leaning upon somebody are unreasonable. Anyway.
I totally know what you mean. Oh, that's a really good point too. This morning I was feeling needy and wanting to get in touch with Jim from a needy place.
Yeah.
And I was arguing with myself because for the exact reason that you just described, because of course I am philosophically adhering to being a strong, independent person who's content with myself and my life.
Yeah.
So I don't need a man in those moments. But
Yeah.
I felt this needy feeling for connection with
Yeah.
him. And I finally let myself win. Which part of myself? I let myself win. Wait, which part? I finally just sent him a text and said, I want some attention with an exclamation
I love
mark
it. I
and
love it.
smiley face. And so it was like not, where have you been? You know, it was
Right.
just like.
It's like kind of owning it.
Yeah. So I just said, I want some attention. And he called right away and we had just a brief little chat. And I was like,
Oh, I love that.
instead of judging the fact that I shouldn't need
Yeah.
these things, I am doing all this work to make sure and ensure that I will never need anything
Yeah.
from anybody.
Exactly.
Boy, it's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny how unexpectedly deep we've gone with this particular issue. Is that when do you know? Because in a way, it's being judgmental, right? Is it a judgment? It's like going, I need to be perfect in my pursuit of
Yeah.
introspective, enlightened contentment, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Or it's like a resistance to, okay, I feel needy right now. Nope, can't feel needy. Like if we resist every...
Yeah, no, I've done too much work.
Yeah.
No, I've got everything I need. Why would I suddenly need to talk to my boyfriend? Like, whoa, what is happening?
I wish.
What's
people
happening to me? What is this thing? It's reminding me of the Blue Lagoon for some reason.
See, now that is not a low larynx cackle.
What is So hey, do you want to listen to some feedback? Do you want to talk about some? Okay, so we have this feedback from AJ in Michigan, and this is what they say. I love your riffing on feedback because I love the fact that feedback is a horrible, destructive, piercingly disturbing sound originally, and now it has been repurposed to mean, and this is in quotes, helpful criticism from a thoughtful perspective. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Because we've been asking for feedback, which made me say, "Oh, I better just ask for comments."
Right.
Comments.
Yeah.
Thoughts, comments.
Yeah.
Because feedback, in a way, is a critique.
Critical. Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, people can critique us, but so far, luckily, the critiques have all been positive. But I thought that was cool because you and I are both in the world of music, and we had our feedback jokes. Would you remember the moment in our podcast when I was talking about how I tease too much, and you were saying like you need an acronym like stop?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so they came up with this suggestion: tease equals T, take a step back; E, exert self-control; A, affirm behavior; S, seek a better outcome; or sensitize yourself to the precondition; E, explore a new approach.
Oh my God. That is so complicated. I love it.
She's been laughing this whole time.
I love it.
I know. Can you imagine? It's true. T, take a step back. Like, that's where I need to ask, what am I really trying to say here? Exert self-control. Because I say these things come out of my mouth before I even know it. Like, I'm going for the joke. I've made the joke, made the comment. Affirm behavior. I feel like that's just filler. Just affirm that I'm behaving the right way.
Yeah.
Seek a better outcome, obviously. And then explore a new approach, which, of course, for me, the only thing I do now is if I realize I'm teasing is I stop and I go, okay, what am I really trying to say? So I do the tease, I get the laughs or the reaction, and then I go, okay, wait a minute, what am I really? Anyway.
Well, I have a question about your teasing.
Sure.
Because it must be difficult for you to know when and when not to do it, because sometimes, so like if you're teasing me, sometimes I just kill myself laughing and I'm like, give me more. And sometimes that I'm not feeling that way. So how do you know which one is going to land?
I don't. And that does come down to impulsiveness, right? And again, for me, it is that gut reaction. I don't think I can exert that. What was their term? Exert self-control. But I think what I can do is immediately react to my impulsive comment and immediately rein it in. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if you're not laughing, then I love how we're using you as the example. Because really, you're the only person who gives me grief about the teasing.
No, that's not true.
Who else gives you grief? You're the only person who actually calls me out on it, which is good. No, Angela has this look on her face.
It's
it's a bad
emoji,
thing.
yeah.
A cringy emoji. No, I like that being reflected back to me. Absolutely. From anyone who has a response to it. There are other people that my teasing bothers, I think, but they don't respond in the same way that you do.
My personality is such that I do get teased a lot. You
invite it.
I invite it in some way.
Because you make fun of yourself.
And maybe,
You're actually really good at making fun of yourself. And you laugh at yourself in to me, a really healthy way. So I think everyone's like, okay, Angela is making fun of herself. Let's also make fun of her.
Right. I was thinking about, actually, this is something I want to bring up because this is kind of deep thoughts with Angela.
Okay.
Okay. So I feel that I have ADHD and that I always have. I don't know if people can just develop, but I feel like I always have had it. And I'm noticing how chaotic I can get, just in my teaching environment in terms of placing a pencil down, placing this, or tripping over my water bottle, blah, blah, blah. And so what I've started to do in the past, because I used to feel really stressed about it, And sometimes some little kids make fun of me, like, your pencil's right there, your book's right there, ha 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 ha. And they see.
You're so mean.
Anyway, so I've started to really tease myself about it. Like, well, oh my God, that's so Angela. And the kids laugh, and it's hurting me. Like, I'm starting to really feel hurt by the amount of teasing, even though it is funny. It's funny. It's well timed.
The jokes are good. I mean, this is gold material.
But it is. What I mean is, like, it is funny, but
Yeah.
but every time I make fun of myself in that way,
because it's not coming from it's not coming from
no,
love and kindness.
It's not. It's like, Angela, you have like, I have a problem. Like, I really do have a problem. Like,
Yeah.
you see my house. It is so organized. Do you know what it looks like at the end of a day? It's exploded because I cannot use my prefrontal cortex to, like, know what to put away after and then I'm so, like, discombobulated. I have to organize it all so that I at least know where something is. And I remember as a kid I got tested. They didn't know what ADHD was then, and they were like, well, her reading comprehension is fantastic, we don't know what's the problem. But the point being, teasing and even making fun of one's self has gotten out of control, and I need to stop doing it. But I think I do it because I'm like, this is so ridiculous. I just lost my pen for the 17th time in 20 minutes. I should probably make fun of it so that my student doesn't think I'm like have a problem,
Right. Yeah. It's being fueled by a negative emotion.
Yeah.
Whereas you're not. Yeah. You're not. You haven't found a way to make peace with that part of yourself. So it's not like you're going, oh, where's my pen? I'm so, like, honestly, you're describing. I relate to everything you described about the chaos of while I'm teaching. I don't always finish a task. Like, so once I pick up the pen, it doesn't necessarily go back where it goes, but that's because I'm in the middle of teaching. So,
right.
And I have a chaotic brain too. But it doesn't bother me. Like, I know I'm a pain in the fucking ass. I don't put things away in the same place in one lesson. I try to have systems in place. I spend a lot of time looking for things. Funny enough, my students don't tease me about it, but maybe it's because I'm not projecting any kind of negativity towards it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, where is I just had it. Where's my pencil? And it'll be on the floor or in a thing or, in my hair or over on the table or so.
Well, you know what's interesting?
Because to me, it's self-love. There's something in deep self-love and acceptance.
But yeah, the point is teasing, even being funny, being a jokester, and making, like, think of the comedians who've made fun of themselves, like,
oh sure,
like Chris Farley, or
he died. I mean, he didn't take care of himself, so I can't say he had a lot of necessarily self-love in there to be sort of abusing his body to the point of death.
So anyway, it's just something I've realized, and I need, like, a post-it note or something.
And it's interesting because I do go back to what I've said before about teasing, is that, so I do have two arms, and maybe sometimes they're in the same tease, but one tease is when it is passive aggressive, and there's something I'm actually not saying,
right?
So there's that, but there's also a place of I have so much love and appreciation for the person that it can't be further from the truth, right? And so there's this assumption that they will understand the joke because it can't be further from the truth. But if that person doesn't have the sense of confidence or appreciation or love for that part of them that I'm teasing,
right? Then you're poking a wound. Yeah.
I do think that presence is at the root of so much of what we're talking about with teasing. So let's just, instead of this tease acronym, let's just say capital P, present, because I do think, like, even when we're doing this podcast, there's a difference. I can tell when I'm, like, a little activated and just wanting to get my thought and my point in, my jokes in.
Yeah.
And I can tell when I'm just, like, listening to Angela, but I can at the same time be calm and present.
Mm-hmm. You're also an incredibly fast processor. And because I'm a very slow processor, I think that I feel intimidated by your fast processing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of...
It's funny you say that, and you've talked about being a slow processor before, and I'm not arguing that point, but the protective person in me wants, like, it's like, what about just, I take X amount of time to process, period. And I don't always keep track of things when I'm teaching, period. Like, why is there a down slant? Like, why can't Angie just be like this amazing woman who processes at X speed? And why does it matter? Like, it's not good that I process fast because I miss shit all the time, or I speak too soon, or I tease people that, like, you, somewhere in your mind, you've measured that slow is bad and faster is good. Whereas I don't see that at all. I see slow, or I don't want the word slow because I feel like it's negative.
Well, because I think it's a sign of, it's a certain kind of intelligence to be a fast processor. And the reason I think it's a problem that I am the way I am is that my life, like when I have to leave the house, is chaotic. I don't know where's this? Oh my God, I only have 5 minutes, even though I had 2 hours. And it's just all these things that add extra stress to my life that are just a part of my, what do you call it? Executive functioning that is very weak.
That's just you beating yourself. I'm like,
I
no,
don't think it is.
You don't have weak executive function.
Oh, I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Here's my other issue is you're funny. You can't be funny if you're a slow processor. Like you make jokes really quickly. So I'm not arguing that you're a slow processor in the way you've described, but I want to sit here and reframe. I want to decorate all these things you've described and slant them in the positive light.
No, I think it's actually speaking of having love in my life, this is very loving, and I know you're doing it because you feel it, but a loving act towards me to reframe these things, because it's something that, even if these are issues, it's not going to help if I'm looking at them in that way.
Yeah, and part of me wants to say, well, so you know you need more time before you leave the house. So you just take care of yourself in that way. It just reminds me of our kids and our cats and all the people we love, and how we're trying to learn to be like, this is how they are, and that's okay. They can be that way, even if it inconveniences me, even if I'm not feeling patient right now.
Right.
Like just about everybody I do adventurous things with, they need more time to prepare than I do. They need more time. Of course, they also often have all the things they need. Like they have a raincoat when it rains. I won't necessarily have it. They remember the sunscreen. I forgot it. So I could stand there and I could be impatient and be sitting there going, God, I've been ready for 10 minutes and I always have to wait for them. Yeah. But I don't. I sit there and admire that they're so thoughtful, and they think of those, like, you can be exactly who you are, and you can I just want to reframe everything you say about yourself, because there's so much negativity. It's not even you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like this is learned behavior that you picked up somewhere along your childhood, and it's not how you treat people. And if you are treating them that way, you're catching yourself. Like, you're not negative towards others. So be nice to Angie. Sometimes you need more time for executive function skills.
Well, the problem with low executive functioning is that it's hard to do that. Like, that's the executive functioning, is figuring out how much time I need and actually...
No, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I like how you did that.
Yeah, it's like I did that.
I guess you're fucked then. Forget everything I just said. I don't have the capacity to deal with this anymore. You seriously need therapy? That was a reference to Lisa in chapter.
I love that voice because it's just, I know somebody who sounds like that. A little bit.
I think we all know somebody that sounds like that. Yeah, maybe it's one of our voices in our heads.
Yeah,
it probably is a voice in our head. Okay, so here's another. Okay. I've got another comment. This is LA from Calgary. Still enjoying your podcast, and was genuinely annoyed about 17-point criticism of Ange. Like, WTF? Who does that? 3 question marks. Unsolicited? 2 question marks. passive aggressive plus plus plus.
This is all about, this is an Ange.
Well, I loved that. And then they also said, ever been love bombed? That could be a whole topic on your show. It's the worst thing I've ever been through personally. So I have love bomb stories I could tell. So anyway, I loved what they said about the I just love their rah support for Ange.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
That,
love bombing.
oh yeah,
I
got
really
stuff.
want to talk
You
about
got a
that.
story?
I want you to start.
Sure. Okay. So I've got a few love bombing. Certainly, a few of my early online dating experiences were love bombed, where they came on strong, turned on the charm, spent a great weekend together, and then boom, never heard from them again. So that was like super harsh, and I'm like, oh boy, that was like, because I was like, this is it. I can't believe how easy this was. I met Mr. Right. Oh, he's so perfect.
Yeah.
But it turned out he just wanted a fun weekend. And that's all he wanted. Or maybe I got crazy. I don't know. Maybe I got too, like, I thought after the weekend, everything would still be on that same level of intensity fun.
Yeah.
Because, hey, we're off. We're out of the starting gate now.
Yeah.
But instead they were like, "Ew." I'm
Yeah.
doing like a windshield closing. So there was that. And then there was actually, I don't know. So I've had a few love bombing experiences. I've also heard the term love bombing slightly differently in that, so it depends where a guy really comes on strong. He treats them like they're the one way too fast and way too intensely. And then do they back off, or like tell me more?
Well, in
about...
my experience, yes, so much like adoration coming my way and feeling like, see, I feel like I did not recognize it as love bombing, but because the opposite thing happened, like some jealousy and light paranoia and that kind of thing, I realized that there were two sides of the same coin. So I think love bombing often goes with attachment issues, like something like that.
I just had a moment.
Yeah.
Love bombing is fawning, is it not?
Yeah.
It's a form of fawning.
Yeah. I think so.
Ooh. So, well, I'm curious, maybe LA from Calgary, you need to write back and tell us,
Yeah,
tell
please.
us about your love bombing experience, or what do you mean by love bombing? Because there is the love bombing, like, and then they just ghost you, like that's
Yeah.
it. But then there's the love bombing in the fawning form of
Yeah.
getting your love back, but then not being able to maintain it.
Or people will often talk about it in terms of being love bombed by a narcissist.
Yes.
So that's where the most popular way.
Yeah.
So they're really fucked up, but they love bomb, and then they really fuck you over with their other attributes. So I don't know. I guess depends how you think of it.
Is it almost like a two-faced thing? Like you thinking like they're love bombing you, they're sending you very mixed signals, because on one hand they love bomb you, but on the other hand they're not treating you. The way they treat you does not align with the love they're bombing you with, and yet they're not.
It's more like it's a manipulation. It's not a true love. And then I don't know how to describe it. I feel like I should look it up.
No. Well, I have a friend the friend that actually, I didn't know the term love bombing. I have a friend like you. I want to have her on the podcast that has done a lot of dating. She has not been married. She's done a lot of workshops, she's a scientist. So like you, I know you're not a scientist, but she does research and learns and has terminology. And so she was telling me about this guy that she started dating. And like they hadn't had any sexual experiences. They'd had 2 or 3 dates, and he was talking to her as though like he had big plans. So oversharing, like telling her, he was telling her intimate things about his,
Yes.
his sexuality.
Okay.
And things like to prepare her for, like, just heavy stuff where she was just like, whoa, like, I don't even know, like, we're not even, like, we haven't even gotten there yet.
Yeah.
And so he was bombing her with this seeming intention of we're together now, and like a level of intimacy that they hadn't grown through time and trust.
Yeah.
So that, and so she knew enough to know this won't last. This is not real, even though he believes it is.
Okay.
And she turned and ran. Like she was,
Okay.
well, she love bombed him. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, she didn't share. She didn't meet him with the same intensity, and she just said, "I don't think we're."
And I think that comes from a level of not having maybe some trauma, because I think a person can probably only be successfully love bombed if there's something they haven't worked through. That's what I feel about myself and my own relationships with love bombing.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because, well, I don't know. It's so hard, though, because you really, you hear all these stories, you watch all these TV shows, like television's ruined our impression of what love is really like.
Yeah.
Because there are those moments where you just are both saying yes, and it feels just really right, and you just get swept in, and so I think it can be easy to misinterpret someone's love bombing as the real thing. I mean, well, this is what we've talked about.
I don't know. Okay. So in my case, the things that these people, a couple different people said, there was a part of my brain that was like, that's not right. That's too soon.
Yeah.
But I wanted it so badly. So I think...
that's what you and I have described.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess I don't even know why I'm arguing, because you're saying unless people have had trauma, well, don't we all?
Yeah.
And this woman, this friend, she was not that interested in meeting someone at the time. Like she had someone else in her life.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't think this friend was not a traumatized person or a person dealing with trauma. I just think she wasn't swept away by him.
Okay.
So I kind of invite LA from Calgary to write back and describe love bombing. Like, to me, love bombing is someone just acting like everything's too soon. Mm-hmm. Like oversharing too soon. It's almost like, to me, like it's worse than having sex too soon. Like it's
right. Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Then they go cold, right? I thought love bombing, the important thing about love bombing was that they then go completely, either they dump you or they go cold. Like that's it. Like the bomb, and then maybe sounds like in your experience, they come again.
Yeah. I mean, I think we could easily look it up and then continue to talk. Okay.
Love bombing? Okay. Here's what AI overview is in the Google search. Love bombing is a manipulation tactic involving overwhelming a person with excessive affection and attention in the early stages of relationship to gain control over them. It often creates an intense emotional dependency, making it difficult for the victim to recognize the manipulative intent until the abuser changes their behavior. Love bombing can be hard to spot initially because the attention and grand gestures feel good and align with romantic ideals often portrayed in media, which is what I was talking about. Red flags include excessive flattery and praise, grand gestures and gifts, rapid progression, constant communication and attention, isolation tactics, trying to monopolize your time, disregard for boundaries, and future faking, making elaborate plans for an unlikely future together. You know what? All those, so I was love bombed multiple times in my early days of online dating. But then I can't say there was a huge difference between those things and the early stages of my relationship with Jim. It was just something about Jim and I stuck. Something about it was more legitimate. Like the early days of a relationship is a lot of attention, a lot of affection. You kind of go in, everyone's playing their A game. You and I joked about the curling the hair.
I'm going to give an example of love bombing that might change your mind about comparing it to you and Jim. In my experience, on the first date, I mean, I had known this person before, but he said, I want to bring you back to meet my mom across the world.
Oh my God. Yes. I can't wait till you meet my parents is definitely something that you don't. Let's talk about like what are I want to make this funny. Like, cause that is like, oh, I can't wait till you meet my mother. Like what kind of I got to fly you to wherever, Tanzania to meet my mother. Jesus. I'm trying to think of like, cause I remember a guy being like, oh, well, you'll see my cabin this summer. Or I remember one guy was like, and this guy I wasn't at all interested. And I'd already told him I wasn't interested. I was like, I just don't think this is going to work. He's like, oh, come on, give me a chance. And the funny thing is, he was a car salesman and very good salesman. He's like, come on, give me a chance. You don't even know. You haven't even met me yet. Like, let's go for dinner. So I went for dinner with him, and like all the red flags, like he was like so excited to take me somewhere that he had a Groupon coupon for. And I mean, guys, use your Groupon coupons when you take women out on dates, but maybe don't be like, I've got this great Groupon. Let's find a great restaurant. Like I'm a bit traditional that way, maybe, or whatever. And then I remembered me telling him I didn't want I don't want anyone to meet my kids for 6 months. And he was like, well, how would that work? Because I mean, like I'll be having, you'd come to my house and my kids are going to be there. And I was just like, whoa, like this guy is like so putting the cart before the horse. But I just wasn't, so I had the dinner with him, and immediately, like he sent, the next day I was like, look, I'm sorry, it's just not a bullseye for me.
See, I think there's a difference. Okay, so that sounds like a kind of like a needy guy.
He was.
There's different. There's needy guys that love bomb, like and then there's guys that maybe they don't realize it, but they're manipulating to gain control.
Yes, because you know what, you're right. This guy, it was really innocent. He was probably one of the good ones. I bet you he was probably a decent guy.
Kind of a sweet guy, but just I feel like with all this talk about love bombing, I think there's definitely a fear in me, like, Angela, make sure, like, I'm scared of making a mistake. I'm scared of picking the wrong person, because clearly I haven't picked the right person yet, because otherwise I would be with that person.
I don't think there are mistakes, though. I really don't. Yes, you may.
No, I mean, I do agree as well.
You may not meet the guy you settle down with, and yes, you may still meet men that aren't necessarily the healthiest final place. But I mean, I think it's like what you said, like you just keep doing the work, and you keep aspiring to being the person you are. And if you do that, then no matter who you meet or what happens, you will keep growing and learning.
Yeah. I think maybe the truth is I'm tired. I don't think I'm ready for more growth yet.
Yeah. Not in that way, growth from relationship.
Yeah. From that way. Yeah.
Where I go is I just want to see you learn to love. I think if you learn to love that, what did you say? The low executive functioning ADHD slow processor. Then maybe you won't. Yeah, maybe you won't.
Brain fog.
Yeah.
Bad at mechanical things. Can't use a computer.
Oh my God.
Doesn't really cook a lot. But I'm making myself laugh. This time it wasn't that bad.
I love it. Well, this has been fun. That's it. I'm done with
this. I know. This.
No, I'm joking.
When you have to lift
it just
Angela
goes like we just all have so much work to do, and if I compared the things I needed from Jim 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago, the things I needed from Jim were so different than the things I need now. And we're still here.
Yeah.
And I guess I like to look back negatively at Margaret in 2019, but that's not fair because I was doing just fine. Yeah. And I'm different now, and it's the same with you. And like, I think when it's time for you to meet someone, you will. And none of us want to feel hurt. None of us want to go through the messiness of relationship. None of us want to feel pain and struggle, but we will, and we do. And maybe you're just not quite over the last pain and struggle.
Possibly.
And the part of you that feels ready to meet someone is the part of you that wouldn't mind just that hand to pull you out of the deep end. For coming from someone else. But at the same time, you're doing just fine getting yourself out of the deep end.
Yeah.
You're not drowning.
Yes, as my therapist said the other day, it's true. Nobody's going to save you or something. I don't know.
Well, no, I've heard that before. There's nobody's coming.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
you know,
a-
this is what good old Mel Robbins says, a similar thing.
Yeah.
Like, quit waiting.
Yeah. She
For
said
that man.
that's an uncharacteristic thing for to say. I can't even remember in what context it was, but
Yeah, but I bet
Yeah.
it's exactly what you needed to hear at the time. You are that person.
yeah.
We are all that person. We have to advocate for ourselves. And the better we learn to advocate for ourselves, the healthier our relationships are, no matter what they bring in.
Yeah.
Because we don't let ourselves do things we don't want to do, that we resent or that allow them to manipulate us.
Yeah. Yeah. And also don't move in with the person right away because
Well, yeah, I think we've established that. Come on, Ange, where were you? What was that, episode 2?
I'm
There he goes. He's going after my backpack. He's making it his bitch again. That is the sound of a bully cat bullying a backpack. Oh, kitty. He's really having his way with my backpack.
we should include him, I think, in the little
Yeah.
pictures at the
Yeah, I know. Maybe I'll add Sal in our cover.
And the
Sal cat.
backpack.
I don't know if other people will think it's as cute. And the backpack. Angie, this was great. I love where we go. Thank you for your openness and your honesty and sharing. And
today was a bit vulnerable.
yeah,
It was,
you were.
yeah.
I would say you are your part of your growth is you get more vulnerable as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about time somebody else shared some thing about themselves. Okay, well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, well, thanks again for listening. Please send in any comments or feedback that you may have, and a few credits. The artwork on our cover, not including the pictures of cats or humans, is my friend Stephen Morton. And then, if you do want to hear the whole show in from beginning to end, it's on all the streaming sites now. So look for. So this is #Love by Margaret Dahlberg.